Okay guys, so I just wanted to create a video on the takeaway. So I get a lot of questions about the takeaway and I wanted to create a video as best as I can visually to portray exactly the couple of things that we're trying to do. So what I've done is I've got a bit of tape and I have stuck it to my forearm and then I've continued it with a separate piece of tape down the line of my glove. Okay, so when I hold my lead arm nice and natural, you can see those two are in line. Now what happens when we grip the club is we have to hold the club in the fingers, okay, and then because we're sort of gripping the golf club, which is a rounded sort of object, it creates like an angle between the back of the forearm and the back of the wrist, okay, like so. Now what this means is that the line that I originally drew is no longer in line, okay. So in the takeaway we're trying to do a couple of things. There's three things in particular. The first one is that we need to make sure that it's a hands, arms, upper body experience. So there is absolutely no benefit in the takeaway to moving the lower body. All this does is it disrupts your sequence and it makes the whole swing messy. So that's number one. The second one, which I try to express a lot on the channel, is you want to try and make sure that your hands work to the side of your body. So you can see the way that my hands are over my toe line as I'm demonstrating here. And I see a lot of this sort of motion where the hands get disconnected all the time, and that causes a lot of problem. So we have a sequencing thing to do, and we have to make sure that the lead arm is connected. Two things. Now, the last one is we need to make sure that as we're taking it back, we need to realign the wrist and the arm. So can you see this subtle action that I'm doing here is a hinge? Okay, very, very subtle, like this. So the three things that we're trying to do are those. Now we're trying to get the habit of taking the club back, subtle little bit of a hinge as we move the club to the side of the body, as we move the hands and arms. And exactly how you end up doing that is up to you. So whether you choose to kind of get the feeling of moving the hands to the side of the body and then really, aligning those two, so you get this position at the top, or whether you choose to do it straight away and then move your hands and arms, these are preferences that are up to you. But what I'm trying to clarify is there does need to be a small amount of hinge, because if you don't have any, then what would happen is the club shaft would end up really vertical, like so. So there needs to be a small amount of hinge to get the club on plane. So work on those three things. Understand the importance of the takeaway to sequence upper body first, or hands and arms and upper body first. Then understand that you want to keep your arms connected to your body while simultaneously allowing a small amount of hinge, because what that'll do is that'll help get the club face on plane and just make sure that club face is nice and square. Hopefully this helps you out. I'll see you soon.